Like, let's change that mindset of like, yeah, we're gonna go out there and smash out to Hez. Like, no, let's just park that head, because I can go out there any day of the year. Like, I can do it anytime. So it's Tuesday afternoon today. We leave for France in 8 days time. I've just been to see the doctor and I've been given a 7-day course of antibiotics because she wanted to examine my stomach and give another urine sample, which she dipstick tested, and it came back with a tiny bit of blood in. I have a slight temperature, 37.5 degrees, which indicates there could be an infection there. Could. So rather than not give me antibiotics, I'm on antibiotics. So I guess the question is, do I cancel the France trip, given that it's so close and I will only get the results of my urine sample that's been sent off again for the second time? It's going to be 3 samples going to be sent off in the end. Do I cancel the trip and stay home? That is the question.
Or do I do what I'm already doing and just ride my bike for fun and not do anything too strenuous and just treat France as a holiday? Just go out there, ride my bike a little bit, do the events, but do them at a very steady pace and be mindful and try to switch off and enjoy myself and relax.
Good morning, wonderful viewer. Thank you for tuning in to another video. I'm back out on my bike. I've been riding for fun primarily the last couple of days, and I cannot start this video without firstly expressing my gratitude to you all for the comments and the Instagram messages as well, regarding like my last video, the one where I said I'm not training or I've stopped training. It was a lot of truth in that. Like, I had stopped training and I will stop training for the foreseeable, just because like I've basically not got the head for it. 5, 6, 10 years ago when I was racing for teams, you'd never admit that. You'd never admit that your head had fallen off. You'd never admit that your training had stopped and you were starting to struggle, because, well, everyone would take a mick out of you. Like, let's be honest. Coming out with that and saying how vulnerable I felt, with my health, like question mark on my health. Everyone's just sort of been so awesome in sharing their own trials and tribulations and how they've dealt with it and dealing with it. And I appreciate that, because it's super important, I've realized, to share. I've realized that through this sort of journey on YouTube as well, so thank you. Lots of you have been saying how, possibly, because we haven't had a definite answer, but lots of you have had the thing that I had, and it can come from dehydration, straining the kidney, straining the bladder, and causing that. But I'm no expert, so don't know if it was caused by that, but that's why we're trying to get follow-up appointments, etc. So I am trying to get to the bottom of it, but I do want to keep talking about it. Well, not so much what I've gone through, but I want to keep that like subject. Like, I think we should talk about it. Like, I don't think necessarily, like, seeing how many people have responded, see how many people are in the similar situation, I think it's important to keep talking about it and keep it as an open conversation, because it happens anytime to anyone, everywhere. So I can only really speak for like myself, I can only really speak for like my experience, and even though, you know, lots of people have been sharing theirs with me over the last couple of days, it is really difficult, you know, when your job is sort of to optimize your body. You know, I've had, you know, health flags, you know, red flags or whatever that have cropped up over the years, and you know, they always trip you up. You know, they always kind of sort of not stop you in your path, but you always have to stop and think. These things as an athlete, you know, I can only speak for myself again, but like they hit you like really hard because your hobby is your job per se, you know, and your job is to look after your body. And then when your body says like it's not happy, it hits you quite hard. I'm not saying it hits you harder than anybody else, I'm just saying. So I've personally always struggled with that, because you always have like, you know, it's a bit like going back to what I said earlier about being in a cycling team. You know, you're always scared of like losing ground, or you're always scared of admitting something because, you know, you won't make the selection for the next race, or, you know, maybe the team actually doesn't sign you. You know, you don't get a contract the next year because of illness. You know, you miss some of the season, or you become not unreliable, but you might be someone who's prone to crashing, or you might be someone that's prone to getting ill, you know, and there's no real explanation. Although, you know, some riders can get a lot of tests done now and find out if it's, you know, energy related, you know, or lack of, I suppose, under fueling, or if it's, you know, like I said, crashing. It can be anything. But I think, you know, we should talk about it. You know, whether you're, you know, a hobby cyclist, or whether you're, you know, someone who's watching this now and you're a teenager and you're trying to, you know, sign for a team, or, you know, if you're already racing at an elite level in whatever sport, or, you know, can be whatever, you know, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying it really long-windedly and badly. And the thing is, like, I still feel that pressure, mainly because I put the pressure on myself, you know, but I also know that I have some great, like, partners, sponsors, people that support me, you know, to a certain extent, putting a lot into me to try and, you know, accomplish things, achieve things, get products, get services, get things like that out there. So I suppose that I sort of keep away, like I don't constantly throw things at you in my videos. I hope everything comes across like very sort of natural and less sort of in your face. So when things like this happen, I tend to simmer on it. I tend to keep it to myself, and I tend to suffer in silence a little bit when it comes to, like, you know, I worry about like people that support me and partner with me and things, and I realize that I can't produce content necessarily when I'm under the weather, or at least I can't produce the content that I said I would, which, you know, Alpe d'Huez would have absolutely blown up off the back of Sacalobra. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, things like, well, what did Mike Tyson say? Like, everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face. Like, that's the truth of it, you know? Like, I had a plan, Sacalobra, Alpe d'Huez, bang, bang, that's going to be part 1 of the season. Part 2, you know, comes afterwards. But this kind of sticks a little bit of a blunt instrument into my into my like Alpe d'Huez plan. So that's what kind of has me, you know, stressed and overthinking and worried in terms of performance. Like I said, I don't race for teams, so technically backpedal, but do you know what I mean? Like, technically I don't have that hierarchy pressure, but I put it on myself. And I know that you know, the sponsors and everybody, they all have my back. You lot have my back. So sometimes I just run away with it. But see, as you can probably tell, like I've thought about this after I finished like this big speech, so that's why I've got a different backdrop. So back to me being stood in front of that mind your head with flying golf ball sign. I think this is probably going to change the channel somewhat, in a sense that, you know, you already know that I'm pretty chill when it comes to like training, and I don't sweat a lot of stuff. But I think it's important to realize going forward that, you know, at any time I could just drop a video where we have a pretty deep conversation like this, that like either needs to be had, or I feel like, you know, I'm in a sticky situation and I need to air some thoughts. Let's end on this then. Let's end on this. So I want to go to France, you know, myself, Charlie, do the haute route, you know, fingers crossed now, the next week, you know, I'm symptom free and I feel fine. I'm enjoying cycling again, and, you know, just get out for a couple of rides with some locals, and push on when I feel like it, and back off when I feel like it. And we do the haute route, and then we chill out with some good people, and, you know, bring the GoPro, bring the camera. Let's try not make it, let's change that mindset of like, yeah, we're gonna go out there and smash Alto Airs. Like, no, let's just park that head, because I can go out there any day of the year. Like, I can do it anytime. I can't, not saying I can take the KOM anytime, I'm just saying I could go out there anytime, and just, you know, have performance on my mind. But maybe it's a sign, you know, that this trip is supposed to be a chill out trip, and experiencing events with people, and experiencing mountains I've never done before, descents I've never done before, with people. And, you know, that's how I'm gonna treat it. So I should probably end this video. I should probably leave this stretch of road as well. Well, actually, I don't think anybody's playing golf this time in the evening. It's like 7 p.m, but you never know. So I'm gonna get out of here before I get a golf ball on the head. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll pick up the camera when I feel like it next, but thanks for your support as always, and I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you in the next video.